Hey everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health review, where this is one of the end of year ramblings where we talk about the game. I'll start over again, fuck it. Hey everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health year end review. This time we're going to be going over the 2023 games that I played. As always, we know that's why this whole Low on Health thing started all the way over a decade ago, and it's one of the only things that actually hang around from when everybody was doing this type of stuff, so huzzah. And I still kind of catalog all the video games I play, in which case a fun thing happened in 2023 with one of the main sites that I use to track all my gaming. Ran into a little bit of discrepancy with them and whatnot, but that's a whole nother issue, so it's been a little bit more challenging for me to track all this stuff, but I still can, and I'm happy that I do. Nonetheless, the total for last year was 195 games, which once again, that doesn't mean I beat 195 games, it means I played 195 games. A decent amount of them I would say I rolled a credit, but a lot of them I just don't.
Is that how many? What's the grand total of the most you've ever played? What?
I think I got up to 250 when the whole Bethesda catalog got added.
I was just curious. I was like, that's a lot of
There
games.
was one year where EA and Bethesda were both added to the Game Pass service, and I went through all of that. So anyway, last year, my number one is basically Hi-Fi Rush, which was a Game Pass game that was shadow dropped. Nobody knew about it, and then it just sleeper hit. It was a lot of people's number ones. It came out of nowhere without getting into what happened in 2024. It's still a great game. Recommend it. It was just more of a good, fun surprise of like, here's a nice small game, and it was just great. We also have Chicory, which was fun.
It was so cute.
McPixel 3, which was kind of just that reminded me of the Flash best point and click type of games where you just kind of mess around with stuff.
You can just rub your face on everything, see what works.
Yeah, just see what kind of fun stuff happens. Thirsty Shooters was good. Short Hike was solid. I was more surprised with Assassin's Creed that I was actually enjoying that one to some degree. Let me go ahead and resize this because that just decided to zoom in a bunch. But yeah, Assassin's Creed I thought was just really good despite everybody not thinking too much of it. And then Coffee Talk Episode 2. Unfortunately, that creator passed away, but that was still just a nice, solid, fun game. And then, ironically, I wouldn't normally put Dead Space or the Stanley Parable because I had played them in the past, and these are kind of remakes, remasters type of things. But I still enjoyed them so much, and I've kind of threw away that rule for myself if I really enjoy the game and I think it is that much dynamically different than the original.
A new experience.
Or if I just really don't think it was that great of a year. That's why usually Life is Strange gets up there. But yeah, that's my top 9, in which case most of these, of course, everything I play on is pretty much going to be on Xbox, except one that I'll mention when we get to it. But let's go ahead and look at the big, long master list of it. So here we see, of course, Hi-Fi Rush, all the things I put up there. It was nice to have like 2 Yakuza games with The Man Who Erased His Name and Ishin, of course. So that's like the feudal one and then the more recent one, which I think was maybe my favorite of the series, the Man Who Erased His Name, because it was very distilled. Venba was good. Adios is good. Just once again, narrative games. I also want to say last year there were 17 games that I would classify as replays, where I replayed them either from a new remastered version or basically whatever could get me more achievements. So that's when I would replay it. I also subscribed to the Ubisoft Plus service for like a month or so I could play the Pandora game and the Assassin's Creed game.
Oh yeah, the Pandora game was actually pretty
And then
good.
I also ended up playing the Prince of Persia game that was in this year in 2024. So Ubisoft Plus, if you could just wait it out and wait for like a bunch of games to come out, which I'm going to do this year in 2024 with Star Wars, Assassin's Creed, and Skull and Bones, I'm just going to spend a month, subscribe to the service, and play through the games, which I think is actually a pretty good deal when you think about it.
I'm trying to think of
and then there was basically 9 games that I actually bought with my Microsoft point money. No different than the Ubisoft subscription. I earn Microsoft points, reward points I can convert into Microsoft points to buy games and services, in which case that's what I did with Ubisoft Plus. That's what I did this time around. So some games I did do, like, just bought them with rewards. Let's see if I can find anything else here.
yeah, and you were remarking recently that it seems like when you buy a game...
Well, a lot of the games that I buy with reward points, like I'm taking a chance on a game and whatnot. No, I don't feel that bad if I don't like it, like with Game Pass, but then I get disappointed by them, and I felt like, oh, yeah, well, it's just funny that I don't enjoy them.
That is ironic.
Lies of P, which is a very great Souls-like game, is the first Souls-like game that I beat. It was very interesting to actually enjoy that. Like, I even played through Grand Theft Auto 5 again because it was probably one of the 15 newer versions of it.
I'm trying to think if there are any memorable games that you played that I'm like, oh yeah, I liked that game. I'm sure there were, I just don't remember.
Now, the Final Fantasy remake is basically the only game I didn't play on Xbox because it's not available on Xbox. I played it on PC, and I upgraded my PC to play it, and I enjoyed it, but it was still meh. I mean, it was fine. It looked great.
I've heard that the most recent one, the next one,
Rebirth?
is kind of divisive, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, and I'll look forward to maybe playing that this year. Crisis Core is an example of one of the games with reward points that I remember playing the PlayStation Portable version of it back in the day, and playing it again was fine. There's the Avatar game, which was, Far Cry Avatar.
Starfield was so meh.
Yeah, unfortunately, Starfield, with high hopes, and it was just very disappointing. Like, I don't know what exactly we were expecting, but it could have been handled a lot better.
Oh god, yeah, you played a Persona game. I know I don't like the audio profile of any of those games.
I played a bunch of Persona games.
I know, and I never liked the audio profile of
Disney
them.
Afternoon.
That's the thing that always stands out the most
because
to me.
I did Ubisoft Plus, I did kind of dip my toes back into some of the Assassin's Creed games. Now, I didn't actually play through all of them. I gave them a good couple hours because I don't have all the time in the world, and a lot of that stuff is just super grindy and just not that much fun nowadays. But it was kind of fun to play through the Ubisoft games through that. Pineapple on Pizza is a fun, stupid little PC game.
I don't remember that one
Loop
at all.
Hero, Diablo 5, and of course as we scroll down a lot of stuff.
Atomic Heart was good.
It was okay.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of Valorant, Valiant Hearts.
You're thinking Valiant, yeah.
Valiant, that's what I'm thinking of.
No.
The name made me think of
but nonetheless, even like the Forza Motorsport was okay because now I'm too used to the Horizon Festival type stuff, which I enjoy a lot more. But a lot of the stuff was just like replays and just droney stuff. A lot of this stuff, like all this stuff here, was all stuff on the Ubisoft Plus subscription service. So a lot of like your Hasbro game, yeah, that I was just kind of went through, like Wheel of Fortune
Uno
and whatnot. Guide to Knights was horrible. But yeah, and they're kind of like a lot of things you see are quick achievements and pieced out. Like, you don't have to play a game all the time. It was just fun to kind of play through some of these games, at least just try them out. Other games here that, of course, nothing's going to really pop out here.
Every single sports game always has obnoxious music.
Yeah, but it could expose people to new music. But,
yes.
But they usually,
I find it obnoxious. It doesn't mean it's objectively bad.
And if these games weren't on Ubisoft Plus or Game Pass, there's a lot of these free play weekends that Xbox does, and that's usually where I'll play some of these. Once again, I didn't play all through Madden 24 or NBA, whatever.
No,
but at least
God.
But at least I tried them, and I gave them a good fair shake.
Yeah.
But as you scroll down here, this is just a bunch of kind of just trash games. Not trash games, but games I just don't.
Random.
I mean, there are some trash games here. I put them really. Anything under 6 is trash to me.
Redfall was incredibly
Redfall was also disappointing. So
it could have been so good, but it was just so.
So last year, like looking back, it's always interesting to kind of pick out of the different stuff, the TV, the anime, and the movies and everything, which one did better. It looks like, I want to say last year, TV was probably the one that did really well.
Yeah.
Then anime, then movies, then probably gaming was kind of lackluster.
Gaming was meh, and unfortunately, 2 of your top 10 games, Hi-Fi Rush and Thirsty Suitors, I really got annoyed with the audio profile of the game.
But yeah, we'll see where it goes. Once again, always hitting at least over 100 games and doing that, and I'm enjoying it. I still think Game Pass is a good service. Even if it goes up in cost, I still think it's a good service. I was paying almost twice for GameFly and getting like not even close to that amount. And
you would always get super annoyed waiting on the games to come.
Yeah, they come shipped. So I remember a worse time, and I was paying more back then and getting less. So I'm okay with them doing more. It's a different thing than compared to a TV streaming service.
And you play games a little kind of differently than the
vast
majority
of people,
yeah, than the vast majority of people.
But yeah, other than that, that's going to be it for the games of 2023. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time.